Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from, yes, the Overflow room. And today, I am proud to report that we are wrapping up the letter P. Oh, I'm so excited. With a bunch of PAs. We have this grab bag of PAs. People whose last name begin with letters P and then A. And, there are quite a few. So we're just going to go through them quickly as possible, but just to let you know what's in there. So many individual single disc type things. For example, this thing, Pisello, Giovanni Pisello, who lived from 1741 to 1816. So he had a rather decent life in terms of like, his active period. And he is one of the major Italian composers of the classical era. Nobody cares about him today, but he wrote nice music. He really did. I mean, it was delicious. I mean, what can I tell you? It's charming music. And here we have his Sinfonia d'Opera. It's just opera overture, it's called. And then his piano concertos, numbers 2 and 4, which are really like lively and perky and fun to listen to. And his overture in D major from the opera Proserpine, with Francesco Nicolosi, piano, Collegium Philharmonicum Chamber Orchestra under Gennaro Capabianca on Naxos. I mean, it's worth hearing some of his stuff. I've got some more of it upstairs. He wrote some really charming music. He did. He knew what he was doing. Then we've got 2 discs. John Knowles Paine, the American composer, who really was 19th century, second half of the 19th century. And he wrote 2 big symphonies in a conservative Brahmsian style. I mean, everybody was doing them in a conservative Brahmsian style. They're here on New World with Zubin Mehta and the New York Philharmonic. You've got Symphony Number 1, Symphony Number 2. Symphony Number 2 has a nickname, Im Frühling. He was a, Leipzig guy, trained in Germany. In springtime, and it's charming. It's nice music. It really is. And the overture to Shakespeare's As You Like It. One of the things that's sort of sad is that people listen to this and they go, okay, it sounds like Brahms. He's kind of like Stanford and Parry, that pair in Britain, where, until Elgar popped up, that was considered to be the acme of contemporary British music. And Paine was a big deal in his day because his music was very, very well crafted in the standard German style, and it has good tunes, and it's just not going to thrill you. What can I say? I mean, it's not bad, and frankly, it deserves to be performed. Not because it's a sufferance. I mean, it's enjoyable. Nobody's going to hear it and say, oh, it's terrible, it's not worth hearing. It is worth hearing. But it's not, they're not masterpieces, flaming masterpieces in any case. They don't have that spark of originality that you really need. But I think that it's worth pointing out that, at least for American folk, lots of people in lots of other countries listen to lots of music of equivalent quality simply because it happens to have been written in that country. And in the United States, we don't. We don't care. Maybe that's better. We don't want to hear anything that isn't like just the best or just the certified classical repertoire. But I do think it would be healthier if we gave these things an outing once in a while. I really do. I don't think there's any harm. So there they are. I mean, I give them an outing once in a while, and I enjoy them when I do. I don't think that they're, like I said, the bee's knees, but hey, there was stuff happening, and that's the point. Now, what's this? Oh, Paganini. Now, most of my Paganini is upstairs, because as you know, I did a talk on the complete Paganini box on Dynamic, or whatever that label is. It's just really quite fine. But this is Pavel Sporchel, the excellent Czech violinist, with Peter, what's his name here? Jerzykovsky, piano. And we have, this CD includes a video for Windows PCs, directed by Uri Hertz. Well, who cares? All right, so you've got The Witch, which is endless fun. Caprice, a bunch of caprices, some of them, numbers 5, 1, 2, 9, 13, 14, 15, I palpiti, which is theme and variations on Rossini's Di tanti palpiti, some of Paganini's nicer works for violin with piano or violin solo. And for that reason, it's really a very nice collection, because you've got some like nifty stuff. You've got the Allegro Vivace Movimento Perpetuo, yeah, for violin and guitar, perpetual motion, with David Baker guitar, or something like that. No, David Baker is the next composer. Ethnic variations on a theme of Paganini, based on, the theme of Paganini, the 24th Caprice. There we go. I got that right, finally. And it's fun. It's just lots of fun. So there you go. It's super fun. That was nice. And then we've got this weird thing. Annibale Padovano. Padovano. Who is Padovano? Well, he lived from 1527 to 1575, and he wrote a mass for 24 voices, which isn't quite the Thomas Tallis motet Spem in Alium for 40 voices, but it's pretty close, and it exists in 2 versions. And let's see, with the Huelgas Ensemble and Paul Van Neville. Version 1 is for choir, 2 cornets, and trombone, and version 2 is for only 3 singing voices and 21 instrumental parts, which is kind of nifty. So you get to hear it like 2 very different arrangements, which may have possibly been the way it could have possibly, conceivably, theoretically have been possibly, potentially performed back in the day. And it's like a real novelty. Yeah, Padovano. There he is, just so you know. Because I'm not writing all the composers in this batch, because there's like just a slew of them. This is just the PA cleanup video. Paderewski. Paderewski was a good composer. He really did. His symphony, Polonia, is really cool. It's a big, heavy-duty, romantic piece of heavy breathing. It's got a thunder sheet in it, so it's got to be good, right? It has 3 movements, 27 minutes, 15 minutes, 28 minutes, it's 72 minutes long. Oy, 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 oy. It's the Symphony Orchestra of the Music Academy in Krakow, under Wojciech Spiel, conductor, on the Dux label. Oh my goodness, you should hear the Polonia Symphony. It's one of those rare gems. It really is. We have to do a video about it someday. It's kind of extraordinary. And then we've got the Piano Concerto, which is beautiful work. I mean, some of you may know that a little better than Polonia and the Polish Fantasy, his 2 major works for piano and orchestra. This is a terrific disc. It features Eva Kupitz, who's a really, really fine pianist, with the Frankfurt Radio Symphony under my old Glee Club director, Hugh Wolf. Hey, Hugh, there you go. Terrific. It was on Koch, the Koch label. But she's a very, very fine pianist, and that's a good disc. Then we've got, let's see, back to the PAs. Pacini! Carlo di Borgogna! Yeah! Carlo, the Duke of Burgundy, with Leonora of York, de York, as it says here, his promised bride. And well, you know what's going to happen to this sucker, don't you? Pacini is one of those, Italian guys that no one particularly cares about anymore, but he was also a very fine opera composer, and these are like fun. It's fun stuff. This is on Opera Rara with, let's see, who's doing it? The Academy of St. Martin in the Fields, David Parry, with a cast that includes Bruce Ford, Elizabeth Futrall, Roberto Frontali, Jennifer Larmore, Helen Williams, Dominic Natal, and Gary McGee. I love Opera Rara. I mean, they just do all this nifty stuff, and they usually do it very, very, very well. How many times have I listened to Carlo di Borgogna? Well, not too many. Who am I kidding? I mean, life is life. You only have so much time in the day, but I'm glad to have this. It's a find. So there's that. And then we've got, the last 2 PAs. Who do you think? Pachelbel. Of course. We've got to have some Pachelbel besides just the canon. These are both organ works. Pachelbel organ works. What have we got here? The Chaconne in D major. Oh, yeah. And then the Chaconne in F minor. Pachelbel was a major organ guy, major organ composer. Let's see. Believed to be ruled by music. And let's see. Pachelbel, brilliant performer and teacher, renowned today as composer of the ubiquitous canon, believed the soul to be ruled by music, and that the hexacordium Apollinus, which is here, 6 strings of Apollo's lyre, represented reason and order. These 6 airs and variations, full of inventive rhythm, refinement, and delightful effects, are framed in this program by 2 majestic chaconnes. I mean, the chaconnes are rather like the canon, which is really a chaconne, sort of, kind of. This is with John Butt on Harmonia Mundi, so it's always nice to have a little extra from a guy who's like a one-hit wonder, just to see what his other stuff is like. Bach was a big admirer of Pachelbel. So, you should definitely have some, because if Bach liked him, it must have been good. He lived from 1653 to 1706. And here we have Pachelbel and Johann Gottfried Valter works for organ. So we've got the Valter first part and the Pachelbel Fantasia in G minor. And let's see, so a little Magnificat von Himmelhoch. And, it's all the usual Lutheran stuff that Bach did, and it's good tunes. You may recognize a batch of them. And it ends with his toccata in C minor, which is lots of fun. And it's like there's some chorale variations, and, it's all very German. Definitely very German Lutheran organ stuff. Now, if you like German Lutheran organ stuff, you really should get some more Pachelbel. This is on Berlin Classics with Hans Heinze on the Silbermann organ at the Reinhardsgrimme. I was just there last week. No, I'm just kidding. So there you have it. We're done with the letter P. Yay! Back. Oh, we have O's. There aren't that many O's either. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with O, but we'll see when we get there, won't we? Keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.